In Toronto, Marcy beat her in a by-election with low voter turnout. I think in full voter turnout, she won't hold that seat again. It is a challenge with Elizabeth May still around from a party perspective. Elizabeth May is an excellent parliamentarian, however, and I think she's an important voice in the House of Commons. So it would hurt Annamie Paul if she was shunning or shunting Elizabeth May off to the side. They have to get tactical. They have to, as Kate said, get very specific about where they think they can win. I think they can hold the seat. They hopefully can hold the seats they've got, but they should have a long, hard look at what happened to the NDP with their leader out in the wilderness for a long time and not in the House of Commons. It didn't help them. So they've got to find a way to get Annamie Paul into the House if they ever want to have some traction.
Okay. What a great discussion this morning. Thank you so much. Great to hear from both of you. Stay well.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. Bye-bye. Susan Smith, Principal, Blue Sky Strategy Group, and Kate Harrison, the Vice Chair at Summa Strategies. That's your political fix, the Talk Back Hour. At 750-1310, love to hear from you this morning on City News.
The Rob Snow Show, brought to you by Myers Automotive Group.
Is your addiction taking priority over everything that matters? Tired of making promises that you can't keep? The Canadian Health Recovery Centre is Canada's premier addiction treatment centre, designed specifically for men. Our integrative program, delivered by highly skilled therapists in a beautiful setting, treats the whole person, not just the addiction. Make this your year for change. Visit CanadianHealthRecoveryCentre.ca for more information. That's CanadianHealthRecoveryCentre.ca.
Check out my new Ford Escape. It's a hybrid. Oh, you mean that SUV with all those smart features? Yeah, it is high-tech, but I said hybrid. It has over 900-kilometer range. Oh, the one with the banging stereo. Yeah, but that's hi-fi. I said hybrid. Forget it.
Get more streets in the 2021 Ford Escape. Purchase finance for 0% APR up to 72 months. Plus, get no-charge all-wheel drive on most new 2021 Escape models, like the available hybrid. Contact your Ford dealer of Ottawa or visit Ford.ca.
The Ottawa real estate market has never moved faster. Not only is it important to choose your house carefully, but your mortgage too. And while rate is important, there's much more to consider. Mortgage Brokers Ottawa has not only several options at competitive rates, but the professionals to guide you to a perfect fit. Don't let the fine print surprise you later. You have options. Consumer's Choice Award winners 11 consecutive years. Mortgage Brokers Ottawa reminds you to please support local businesses.
I gotta tell you, boss, ever since I found out about Good Food's ready-to-cook meals that they deliver right to your door, I feel a lot less pressure when I'm barbecuing. How so? Every week they have 30 new recipes to choose from, and they practically cook themselves. Now everyone thinks I'm the barbecue king.
Boy, those portobello burgers sure smell good.
Right? I've totally taken my barbecue game to the next level, and I'm happy to take all the credit.
Good Food. Eating evolved. Visit makegoodfood.ca. Certain conditions apply. Details on makegoodfood.ca.
This is City News.
CIWW 1310 AM in Ottawa.
And DJET 1011 FM in Smith Falls and the Valley. Number one for local news in Ottawa and the Valley. This is City News, now on 1011 FM and 1310 AM.
It's Wednesday, June 9th. Good morning. I'm Andrew Boyle. Right now in Ottawa and in Smith Falls, 24 degrees, and here's what's making news in Ottawa and the Valley. Not only is the federal government looking to potentially start easing border restrictions as soon as this month, but reports indicate this morning they're announcing today a partial lifting of hotel quarantine requirements. Here's City News Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney.
The much-debated hotel quarantine rules may soon be in for a change. CBC Radio Canada is reporting today the federal government will announce fully vaccinated Canadians will no longer have to quarantine in a hotel for 3 days if they're returning from overseas by air. The report says this would not take effect immediately, but rather come into force in the coming weeks. Now, we're also expecting to learn this week when restrictions at the Canada-U.S. border could be partially lifted. People who are fully vaccinated are expected to be the first to benefit from a gradual easing of these restrictions at the Canada-U.S. border. The Toronto Star reports an announcement could come as early as Friday, which would allow for about 10 days for any changes to be made before the current border closure order expires on June 21st. Still not clear what type of proof of vaccination would be available for those who want to cross the border and are fully vaccinated. The border has been closed to non-essential travel since March of last year. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
City News Time at 10:03. Just getting the new case numbers of COVID-19 in Ontario today, and it is the lowest in months. 411 new cases province-wide today. In the city of Ottawa, a single new case. 3 new cases in Renfrew, 1 in Leeds, Grenville, Lanark, 0 in Eastern Ontario. The province is also reporting 33 more deaths today. Now your forecast with meteorologist Jill Taylor.
Still quite warm for Ottawa, the Valley, and Smith Falls today, but becoming less humid with more of a north wind, sun and cloud, the high 29 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear, cooler, low near 13, but 13 is the average low. And tomorrow, sun and cloud, 25. For today, the high, 29.
And right now in Ottawa and in Smith Falls, it's 24 degrees. City News Time, 10:04. Thousands attended vigils in London and Ottawa for the victims of the horrific deliberate violence against one family. One of the attendees at the London vigil is Katia Diaz. She was with her family outside the mosque of the slain family for that vigil. She says the alleged attack goes against what she thought Canada stood for.
I'm an immigrant myself, so coming to Canada, it is because it's a safe country to raise a family. And to have this in our town, in our city, it's very shocking.
But Diaz says the fact that thousands of people did show up to the vigil in London in the family's honor shows a love and acceptance will triumph over hate. A 34-year-old Ottawa man is facing several charges after fleeing the scene of a car crash into the Rideau River. It was just after 5 in the afternoon yesterday. OPP called to a collision. A car left the highway but wound up in the Rideau River. The driver had fled on foot. 34-year-old Raymond Edwards was located later. He now faces charges including dangerous driving, failed to remain at the scene, and driving without a license. He's scheduled to appear in court next month. I'm Andrew Boyle for News Anytime. Follow up online at ottawa.citynews.ca.
Talk back. Hello.
On the Rob Snow Show. The phone lines are open at 613-750-1310.
Now, Rob Snow Show continues. Two kind of big picture things that I want to get into with you today. Number one, do you think if federal political leaders here in Ottawa, I mean all of them, okay, do you think that they're to be taken seriously when it comes to racism, bigotry, and all of its forms? Don't you think they should be speaking out against Bill 21? Okay, first of all, Quebec secularism bill, Bill 21. 750-1310, 750-1310. That's issue number one for me. And, I may have to spend some time kind of weeding it all together, but another important question for you. I just watched the oil price cross the ticker here, and it's closing in on $71 a barrel US now. Big recovery in the price of oil, and some people are placing bets on the market that we're going to have a $100 oil price again, $100 a barrel US, okay? What should we do with all the Canadian oil that's in the ground? We have the world's third largest oil reserve, but we also want to be net zero by 2050 and cut our emissions half in the next 10 years. Okay? The future of oil. So I want to talk about both of those, but I want to do it with your help, okay? I want to discuss it, debate these issues with you. 750-1310, 750-1310, 613-750-1310. If political leaders in Ottawa, all of them, are to be taken seriously when it comes to fighting against hate, then shouldn't they be speaking out against Bill 21 in Quebec? They all say they're opposed to hate, and who wouldn't be opposed to hate? Right? They all said it yesterday. We aired their House of Commons speeches during the program yesterday, during this hour of our program yesterday. Given what happened in London, Ontario on Sunday, we have to speak out against hate. And prejudice and discrimination, and we have to speak up and stand against an assault on minority rights. Right? Yes. And that is the right and proper stance to take, of course. But doesn't it all just ring hollow if the Federalist cause, does that even exist in Ottawa anymore? Let's work from the assumption that it does. If the Federalist cause in Ottawa won't do a gosh darn thing, won't say a gosh darn thing about a piece of legislation like Bill 21 in the province of Quebec, then ladies and gentlemen, aren't they all just empty words? Look, this is a heavy-duty topic. Okay? It's a heavy-duty topic. It's an important one. I'm encouraged to see it's the topic of some media commentary this morning. I mean, it's not very often that you would get two columns, one in the Star and the other in the Sun. And they're both basically saying the same thing. One written by Brian Lilly in the Sun and the other by Susan Delacourt in the Star. Two different people, two different newspapers, two different editorial points of view most times. And they're both hitting on the very same theme today. And I think they're both right on the money. You can't possibly say, oh, we're all for defending minority rights. We're all for standing up against religious persecution, religious rights, and then cower in fear because you're pandering for votes in Quebec. Come on. Stay silent because you're afraid of offending the sensibilities of the Franco majority in Quebec. I mean, it's just Kate used the word crass. Yeah, it's the height of political hypocrisy. And look, maybe legally, Bill 21 is a lost cause. Bill 21, maybe it's a lost cause. People are fighting this vile piece of legislation. Legislated racism, they're fighting it in the courts. They're not doing very well because of Quebec's use of the notwithstanding clause in the Constitution, but they're trying the best they can to challenge this law in court. Gosh, wouldn't it be nice if some political leader in Ottawa had their backs? Mr. Trudeau was asked about Bill 21 during his news conference yesterday, and this is what the Prime Minister of Canada said. Yes,
I think it is extremely important to recognize that provinces have the rights to put forward bills that align with their priorities. I think people have a right to question those and go to court to defend their rights, as is happening right now. And I think there are going to be reflections about a number of pieces of legislation, including Bill 21, as we move forward out of this pandemic, where people have spent a lot of time wearing masks, and also understanding how important it is for all of us to fight against intolerance and Islamophobia. But okay, I have long...
Enough. Wearing masks. What does that have to do with anything? I hope he says, well, maybe the people will reflect. I hope he takes some time to reflect on what's been going on in the province of Quebec. He is the member for Papineau, after all. Mr. Singh, yesterday, this was at the Vigil in London, Ontario.
I also want to remind us all that this heinous act was an act of hate. And hate is like a fire. Once hate takes hold, it spreads, consuming everyone. So it is our collective responsibility to stand against that hate, to give it no air to breathe, no space to take hold. That is our collective responsibility, and one I ask all of you to take together.
Okay. Again, saying all the right things, but refuses to even condemn Bill 21 in Quebec. the new Democrat leader, a seat. And Mr. O'Toole.
This was an attack on a family walking together in their community. The O'Toole family was entitled to the same security, the same freedom from fear, and the same freedom to worship as every Canadian.
Thank you.
And we have to commit ourselves.
And what if they lived in Quebec? Because all three of those political leaders, well, Quebec, it's its own place. It's just how things are done there. It's about provincial rights. Nobody in Ottawa is standing up. All because of seats, all because Quebec may play kingmaker in the next federal election. It could be the difference between a liberal minority government, liberal majority government. Everyone knows that. Quebec is a key battleground. And Premier Legault knows that. And it's why he's been able to play the federal leaders like a fiddle. He knows he can pass legislation like Bill 21, like Bill 96, the new language law. It's barely a whisper of opposition from any of the federal leaders in Ottawa. If anything, they'll cheer him on. It's really quite astonishing. Only in Quebec could they ever dare, let alone get away with it, a law like Bill 21, attempted anywhere else in the country by any other provincial government. I'm telling you right now, there would be condemnation daily in the House of Commons and federal lawyers dispatched with great haste. Bill 21, the secularism law. It's like the closing chapter of the Quiet Revolution, and its basic theme is we have no use for organized religion in Quebec, and if you plan on working for the government in Quebec, you have to leave your religion at home. You're not going to wear a hijab. You're not going to wear a crucifix. You're not going to wear a kippah. None of it. We want nothing to do with it. In fact, it's not allowed and it's against the law, and we don't care what it says in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms about freedom of religion and freedom of conscience and freedom of expression. None of it, notwithstanding the fact that we are supposed to have all of these rights. And they're supposed to be fundamental. We're Quebec, we're different, we're special. And we dare you in Ottawa. We dare you, Mr. Trudeau, Mr. O'Toole, Mr. Singh, we dare you to even kick up a fuss about it. So what happens? Nobody does. Nobody does. The words were nice yesterday. It's time for action. This is the Rob Snow Show on City News.
Your performance at work is getting worse, your health is getting worse, and your doctor wants you to take time off to make a disability claim. But should you? My name is Aaron Waxman, and if you're too sick to work and have questions about your long-term disability claim, call me at 1-844-583-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, my team of lawyers only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 1-844-583-4878 or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
What does it feel like to play Lotto 649? Well, with an upcoming jackpot of an estimated $6 million, just having a ticket feels a lot like that moment between and... So get that 649 feeling. Buy your ticket today to feel the anticipation that comes with a chance to win a jackpot of an estimated $6 million, plus the guaranteed $1 million prize.
The team at Rivington Rally Honda knows that you're not going out as much, but there are still places you need to go, and they're ready to help you get there safely. They're open for sales and service by appointment and are diligently following all safety protocols. You can check out all the special offers available ahead of time at rallyhonda.com, and the team is just a phone call away to answer your questions and book your appointment when you're ready. Travel safely with help from Rivington Rally Honda, Highway 50 north of Smith Falls.
Summer weather in Ottawa can bring on the good